Okay, so I beat my 3-blind PB single earlier today. Hate to break it to you, but it was not on cam. But I feel like next best thing would be for me to reconstruct it and show you guys, because it was a very, very nice scramble and just flowed super well. And it was my first PB single, my first any kind of 3-blind PB with UF buffer. So that is really awesome. And I beat my previous PB single, which was 9.47. So yeah, almost a second and a half. That's really cool. The scramble I will put right here. It should be right here. And so I scrambled in my orientation, by the way, so it'll end up, since my orientation is orange front, yellow top, it ends up like this after the wide moves. So I rotate to my orientation like that. And then I start by memorizing corners. And so my buffer was solved. Kind of a sad thing about this is I could have floated to UFR for corners and it would have made it 2 corner comms and 4 edge comms, 6 comms total, which would be ridiculous. But I didn't do that because I immediately knew it was a good scramble, and I'm not that good at floating to UFR yet, and I don't think it would have been really worth it for me. But if you can float to UFR and you do this scramble, you'll probably get a really, really good time. So I start by memorizing corners. I cycle broke here, UFR, because I immediately see what piece is right there, and I know that's a fast 8-move comm here, here, here. For me, that's CT. I use the word cut. And then we go to here and then there. LDB, BRU. For me, that's QW, quick-witted. It's kind of a bad letter pair, but actually typically works fine for me. And then from here, we go to here to there, back to UFR. And for me, that's Casey, and so I always just picture a friend of mine named Casey. So altogether, that's cut, quick-witted Casey, which is, right off the bat, a pretty good sentence to visualize. Like, it actually makes sense, like, with 0 effort. So from there, I move on to audio edges, and so I'm using UF now, keep in mind. So I start by looking here. First piece is there, UL, and then second piece is LF. Right off the bat, another good comm. This is pretty much all good comms, by the way, just so you know going into it. And for me, that's a DS, dis, just like you're throwing an insult at somebody. So dis is the sound, DS, and then here, FR to BL. For me, that's FY, fey, so disfey. And then now we go here to here. NB for me. Knob, disfey knob is the audio altogether. And then one more here to RB to DB. For me, that's MK. I use Mike just because MK kind of sounds like Mike. So, and for the solve, first letter pair was here, 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 dis. This is a 9-move RUE comm. So the setup cancels with the interchange, which is U prime. So first move is U prime. Now it's here, 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 which is super fast comm. We do the insertion, which is R prime, ER. Interchange U prime. Undo the insertion. U2, which is the setup canceling with the interchange. And then we've got here, here, here. This is also a fairly nice case, in my opinion. It's a 2-move setup to an RE 5-mover. The setup is R prime, U prime. And now we've got here, 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 which is an RE 5-mover. The 5-mover is this, R prime, E prime, R2, E, R prime. And then we undo the setup, U, R. Then we've got a very nice comm, 8-move RUE, here to here to here. The insertion is RE, R prime, U prime interchange. Undo the insertion, undo the interchange. Last comm, here, here, DB. That one is a 9-move MUR comm. The setup is M. Insert this right there with U, R prime, U prime, U2 interchange, U, R, U prime to undo the insertion, and then we cancel the interchange with the setup, so M. First corner comm, we did here, here, here. That's an 8-move RUD, hopefully you know that one. U2 interchange, R prime BR insertion. So this next one is here, here, here. That one is an R prime setup into 9-move RUD comm. So R prime sets up into here, here, here. Then we would do a U prime setup, and then R, D prime, R prime insertion, U2 interchange, undo the insertion, and then the interchange cancels with the setup, and then we do an R. In the last case, here, here, here. That's not the nicest comm, but I think it flows pretty nice and it's regripless, so I'll take it. The setup is R, D prime, R prime. Now we've got the same comm that we started with, here, 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 well, the inverse of the same comm. So yeah, insertion, interchange, undo insertion, undo interchange, undo setup. So I'll put the reconstruction in the comments, but yeah, that was a very nice solve for me. Even though it was really lucky, I'm still proud of it because I had great memo and great execution. For me, it was 759 memo, I think, and that would give 1043 left for execution, so 6.42 TPS. Anything near 6.5 TPS is definitely good for me. I think like my best ever TPS is near 7.5, so I'll definitely take it. Yeah, that was it.